get it. What's the matter with you? Thank you very much. Yes, it was a good. It's a very good cartoon. It was actually very amusing, and there also were action figures and Marvel comics. There's still stuff. Actually, at Comic-Con in San Diego, a very clever comic book came out by Matt Lash, Supernatural Law. It's all about, these are lawyers who defend monsters and creatures and who get sued for whatever they do. And the Toxic Avenger is the star of this comic book that just came out.
I think this is...
Devil's Due did a comic book last year that's, I think, for sale. It's a graphic comic. It's very, yes.
Is it true that you weren't allowed to use the word superhero anymore for Toxic Avenger?
Yes. Once Marvel, let's see what happened. When Marvel went bust and they stopped doing the Toxic Avenger comic books and Toxic Crusaders, they sent us a lawyer's letter saying that they own the word superhero. They own it jointly with DC Comics. I think so. Now that's why we say superhuman hero. Say superhuman. One of our pet peeves is very against Clinton's millennium copyright law, which basically extended the copyright law to a much longer period. So because Mickey Mouse was becoming public domain, and Disney didn't want anybody having it. And if Shakespeare had lived in our times, he would have been sued for writing Romeo and Juliet. He basically took it, he plagiarized it from Italian. But when the founding fathers created the copyright law, they anticipated it was 14 years. The idea was to encourage the artists and to give the artists some benefit from their work, and then give it to the public, so the public would benefit from it because the public supports the artist. But now, 75 years or 100 years, whatever it is, all that does is concentrate more and more of intellectual property into the hands of these huge corporations. And Disney would still make a shitload of money if, with Mickey Mouse in the public domain, they'd still make tons of money. They might even make more. But think of how many interesting things could be done with Mickey Mouse by other talented. There might be some Shakespeare out there who would do, the Merchant of Venice or something. So we're living in real. Clinton's responsible for that. We're living in serious, really elitist times. But the good news is that the art of filmmaking has been greatly democratized thanks to the digital. I carry one in my bag all the time, a little digital camera, and I filmed a lot of stuff. All the Love You Can, a feature-length documentary about the Cannes Film Festival and how Troma's there doing how we sell our movies there. It costs nothing. Absolutely, it's just like a home movie, but it's sold and you get it in a lot of stores, and it's actually made money. It costs nothing. We've done a few films. Tap my feet. Well, thank you. But the point is, you used to have to be rich to make a movie. When I started out, you had to shoot on celluloid, and even my early films which were $8,000 to $10,000. Doesn't sound. I mean, still, even today, that's a chunk of money. But back then, $8,000, $10,000 bucks. 1968, 1970, that was a lot of money. And now with digital, everyone can make his or her own movies. It really has. The art form is democratized, so that really is a wonderful hope. And then the internet too. Poultrygeist was open to the internet. In fact, Poultrygeist was on the internet before it came out in this country in 35 millimeter. We don't even have a DVD. It's in China. The parents of the producer were in China, and they bought a DVD of Poultrygeist, and we never made it. We never made a DVD. They somehow got it off of a 35 millimeter. Somebody must have taken a print from the lab. I don't know. And the interesting thing was they made a beautiful box with key art, with beautiful art, much better than our posters. and they had on the front cover they had Ron Jeremy twice. Ron Jeremy and Ron Jeremy starring. And at the back, they had the Poultrygeist. I can't remember who the director was, but they had Stanley Tucci and Bob Yari as producer, who produced Crash, And they had all these very artistic, I can't remember the other actors, but they were all very, highfalutin artistic types. Well, maybe we should break up into discussion groups and thank you to the Andy Warhol Museum for creating this wonderful festival, and thank you for having Poultrygeist as your opening. Thank you, Brad Pierce.
It's a pop quiz,